Do you always feel like you're different from others? Like people don't really understand you? And you experience the world much more deeply than most? If yes, then maybe you are one of the rarest personalities in the world. According to the Myers-Briggs personality system, there are 16 personality types, and among them, INFJ is considered the rarest. INFJs are introverts, but they are also deeply emotional. They don't see the world on the surface level. They understand it deeply. If you have always felt different, then watch this carefully, because maybe you are among that rare 2% of people. Chapter 1. You feel different. Want to hear the truth? INFJs never fully fit into this world, and that is actually their greatest strength. Since childhood, they often feel like something about them is different. Their thoughts, emotions, and depth don't match the standards of the world around them. While most people are happy with shallow conversations, the INFJ mind asks deeper questions. What is the purpose of life? Why do people behave the way they do? What is true happiness? Gossip, fake conversations, and superficial behavior exhaust them because their mind lives in depth, not on the surface. That's why they can feel lonely, even in a crowd. They may be surrounded by people yet still feel disconnected. But listen carefully. This is not weakness. It's proof that you are not average. When you avoid small talk, it doesn't mean you are awkward. It means you don't want to waste your time. When you seek meaningful conversations, it means shallow connections can never satisfy you. INFJs look for quality, not quantity. One real connection is better than 100 fake friends. One deep conversation is worth more than endless random talk. And the truth is, the world may fail to understand you. People may call you too serious, too deep, or different. But remember, lions always look strange among sheep. Diamonds still stand out even in the dirt. Your difference is your identity. So stop trying to change yourself. Stop trying to suppress who you are. Instead, embrace your uniqueness, because that difference is what separates you from ordinary people, and it's what can make you extraordinary. Chapter 2. Your most dangerous strength. Do you know what your most powerful ability is? You don't just listen to people, you feel them. Being an INFJ means you have an ability most people don't possess. You can see the truth hidden behind words. You can read the emotions hidden behind faces. People may say one thing, but you instantly understand what they truly feel, because you don't operate on the surface. You operate in depth. When someone laughs, you notice the pain inside them. When someone appears confident, you sense their insecurity. And the most shocking part? Sometimes people themselves don't understand what they are feeling, but somehow you do. This is called intuition. It's not magic. It's your awareness, your observation, and most importantly, your empathy. But listen, this gift is as dangerous as it is powerful. Because when you understand everything, you also start feeling everything. Other people's pain becomes your pain. Their confusion starts disturbing you. And this is where strong INFJs and weak INFJs become different. Weak INFJs lose themselves in other people's emotions. Strong INFJs understand emotions without absorbing them. You must learn this. You do not have to carry every pain. Not every burden is your responsibility. Your intuition gives you power, but control must stay in your hands. If you master this ability, you can influence people, deeply understand relationships, and see the world from a completely different perspective. And that's what makes you dangerous. Not because you hurt people, but because people cannot easily manipulate you. You understand the game, and the person who truly understands people can never stay weak in this world. Chapter 3. Being alone is not weakness. Being alone is not weakness. It is a power very few people understand. INFJs do not run away from people. They protect themselves. Every interaction, every conversation drains their energy. Fake smiles, pointless talks, and superficial connections mentally exhaust them. That's why they feel most like themselves when they are alone. They enjoy silence. They feel comfortable with their own thoughts. They recharge by spending time with themselves. But the world asks, why are you always alone? Why aren't you more social? The truth is, the world fears silence because silence removes distractions, and then people are forced to face themselves. But INFJs grow in silence. They build themselves in solitude. Being alone doesn't make them weak. It makes them mentally strong. Because once you become comfortable alone, you stop needing others to complete you. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing validation. And that is where real power begins. But remember this: solitude and isolation are not the same thing. Strong INFJs use alone time to improve themselves and protect their energy. Weak INFJs isolate themselves and drown in overthinking. You must decide. Will loneliness break you or make you unstoppable? Because the person who learns to stand alone can never truly be defeated. Chapter 4. Your empathy is both a gift and a curse. You don't just understand people, you feel them. Being an INFJ means your heart is deeper than most people's. When someone is in pain, you feel it. When someone is breaking inside, it shakes you emotionally. People can hide emotions from others, but not from you. Because you don't read words, you read energy. And this is both your greatest strength and your greatest curse. Carrying everyone's pain is not easy. You start treating other people's problems like your own. You carry their sadness inside you until you slowly become emotionally exhausted. But listen, your empathy is not weakness. It is your rarity. In this world, most people judge more than they understand. Most people ignore more than they feel. But you care deeply. You genuinely connect. You can heal people. And that is what makes you extraordinary. But you must learn one thing. Not every pain belongs to you. Strong INFJs have empathy, but they also have boundaries. They support others without losing themselves. Weak INFJs drown in emotions and forget who they are. Balance is everything. Because if you learn to control your empathy, you can change lives and create real impact in this world. Chapter 5. You seek purpose in life. You were not made just to survive. You were made for something bigger. INFJs do not live only for money, status, or comfort. They live for meaning. While most people are satisfied with jobs, salaries, and routines, your mind keeps asking, why am I doing all this? What is my real purpose? For you, life is not just about passing time. It is a mission. You want to create impact. You want to change lives. You want to leave behind something meaningful. And that is what makes you different. But this path is not easy. People will call you unrealistic. They will underestimate your dreams. They will tell you to be practical. But average people always think in average ways. And you were not born to be average. Still, there is a warning. Weak INFJs spend their whole life searching for purpose without taking action. Strong INFJs turn purpose into action. They take small steps and create big impact. You must decide. Will you only think about greatness, or will you become it? Because purpose is not found by thinking alone. It is built through action. And once you truly find your direction, no one can stop you. Chapter 6. You overthink a lot. Your mind is your greatest weapon, and sometimes your greatest trap. The INFJ mind never stops analyzing. Every situation, every possibility, every outcome. Your brain constantly examines everything. When someone makes a simple decision, you imagine 10 different outcomes. When a conversation ends, you replay it repeatedly. I shouldn't have said that. What if I had done this instead? Slowly, you get trapped in the past and lost in worries about the future. And eventually, you lose the present moment. But listen, overthinking is not weakness. It is uncontrolled power. Weak INFJs become slaves to their thoughts. Strong INFJs learn to control their minds. You must understand, not every thought matters. Not every question needs an answer. Sometimes clarity comes through action. Sometimes answers appear while moving forward. If you don't control overthinking, it will confuse you and keep you stuck. But if you master it, that same mind can make you brilliant. Chapter 7. You are deeply creative. You don't just think, you create. Being an INFJ means your mind is wired differently. While others see the world as it is, you see it as it could be. You find meaning in stories. You feel emotions in art. You create impact with words. Creativity is not just a hobby for you. It is part of your identity. When you write, you don't just write words. You express feelings. When you create something, you don't just make content. You touch people's hearts and minds, and that is powerful. You can inspire people. You can trigger emotions. You can turn simple ideas into powerful messages. But problems begin when you suppress your creativity. What will people think? This isn't practical. Will this even matter? Slowly, you stop creating. You limit yourself. Weak INFJs ignore their creativity and lose themselves in other people's expectations. Strong INFJs continue creating whether anyone understands them or not. Because creativity is not about attention, it is about expression. And if you take your creativity seriously, you can build your own identity and inspire the world. This world does not need copies, it needs originals. And that original is you. Chapter 8. You feel misunderstood. Do you know what hurts the most? When people see you, but never truly understand you. This is one of the most painful truths of an INFJ's life. You are deep, but the world is shallow. People cannot always understand what you feel or how deeply you think. That's why they call you too emotional, too sensitive, an overthinker, different. But the truth is, you are not wrong. You are simply rare. The problem is not that you feel too much. The problem is that the world feels too little. Eventually, you stop explaining yourself. You stop expressing yourself. You learn to keep everything inside because constantly being misunderstood becomes exhausting. But listen carefully. Closing yourself off is not the solution. Weak INFJs isolate themselves from the world. Strong INFJs accept that not everyone will understand them, but they still remain true to themselves. You must understand, not everyone will connect with you on a deep level, and that is okay. Real connections are rare. The right people will understand you. You don't need to prove yourself to everyone. First, learn to accept yourself. Because once you truly understand yourself, other people's misunderstandings will stop affecting you. And remember, being alone can hurt, but being surrounded by the wrong people is even more dangerous. So stop hiding who you are. You are powerful exactly as you are. Not everyone will understand you, but the people who truly do will never want to lose you. If you saw yourself in these signs, then maybe you are an INFJ. But remember, personality labels are less important than self-awareness. Knowing who you truly are is your greatest strength. And if you are different, that is not your weakness. It is your greatest power.